Hello, everybody. Welcome to Can't Tell Me None podcast. Before the show begins, we would like to say that I hope that you're smashing the like button and also subscribing to our channel to help us with the algorithm.
And turn on your notifications as well.
Exactly, because what's better than just checking on the page, but you also get the notification that we're posting every Saturday. So, yeah, you can see the clips every Saturday, but then you can also check our Spotify at TCL Network for the full episode of the Can't Tell Me None podcast, and also Benchwarmer Reports on our Spotify or YouTube, whatever you prefer, Well, and here's the show. It's like jobs in the United States.
Living wage.
And living wage. So this debate can literally just go on and on and on and on, because it's like, but let's just kind of stick to like LA and like maybe the big cities, right?
Mm-hmm.
The question is like, what's a fucking livable wage? Okay, that's the question. But first, let me just read like some of the reports on jobs. So there's a new jobs that came in, and like we went down to 5.4 as far as like unemployment rate. The U.S. economy added 943,000 jobs as far as July. Mm-hmm. But also there's a high increase of people quitting their jobs. And there's
people who's getting paid more for unemployment than going to work.
Right, but there's a labor shortage where it's like a lot of people are being very picky with their jobs, regardless of the 0.03% raise in wages. A lot of people are kind of saying, nah, man, like you're not paying me enough. Like there's a lot of open jobs now. The report kind of came in less than expected. There's a lot of opening jobs. And not a lot of people want to fill it. And there's an article on the Insiders that's saying like the three contributing factor could be school closures are probably playing a role. Mm-hmm. 2 is a mismatch between the industries hiring and the workers seeking the jobs. Mm-hmm. And 3 is people moving during the pandemic, but many jobs didn't move. So like, why is it, before we get to the living wage, what do you think? There's a shit ton of jobs now, and like people are not accepting the job. Is it because they're not paying enough, or is it because there's still unemployment? And like, if
it's because they're not paying enough.
Okay.
I'm like, I would never go back and work at Walmart or any of these grocery stores after I've seen
Costco.
I worked at Costco. I'll never do it again.
Okay.
I won't. Fam, I used to work at these grocery stores. I know how customers used to treat us before the pandemic was even thought of. And I used to go in grocery stores during the pandemic, go into Costco, Walmart, all these places, and see how people used to treat customers. I'll never go work there again. You would have to pay me like $25 an hour starting. Yeah, fam, I'm not gonna sit there and let people spit in my face, cuss me out, call me all types of names, threaten to beat me up. Well, that's happened to me before when I used to work at jobs. Niggas at Walmart used to threaten, what time you off? I'll be waiting for you. I'm like, bro, I'm off at 10.
Hey, man.
I don't get paid enough.
Yo,
I don't get paid enough.
Walmart's a different story. I'm not going to say, hey, I'm a Costco member. I go to Costco. I don't think people go to Costco be cussing people out like that.
I used to work at Costco. Yes, they did.
Yeah, they do?
Yes.
Man, you was working in Hawthorne. That's why.
That's Hawthorne, but that's Manhattan Beach. Most of the people that go to that college, you see that dress?
No. That's Hawthorne.
No, that's Cap.
Find another Costco that's like lower.
Torrance. Oh, you mean lower income? Culver
yeah.
City. The one in Culver City.
Are you saying that one's nice?
Huh?
Are you saying that one's nice?
What, the one in Culver City?
Yeah.
Are you saying one that's nicer?
Yeah,
Torrance.
Yeah, Torrance is nicer, but the one that most people, in Hawthorne, Lawndale, Gardner, they go to that one.
No, because there's one in Hawthorne.
That's what I'm saying. The one in Hawthorne, bro. That one is in Hawthorne.
There's one in Hawthorne by my old house.
I thought that was a business center.
No, you could go in there and buy normal stuff too.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah.
It always looks just like a factory.
All Costco's look like factories.
I know, but that one particular look like it's just a transportation factory. I've never really technically
go in there and buy stuff too now. But even before that one was open, like when I used to work there, a lot of people was in Manhattan, used to come there, used to live in Manhattan Beach or like the nice part of Hawthorne right there. Like It's Costco has a lot of entitled customers
That's
too that
true.
be
That's
pricks.
true.
So
That's true. Hey, I'm paying
y'all think because y'all pay $100, y'all can talk to motherfuckers
Hey,
any way
man,
you want.
I
Like
want my
won't
cash
slap,
back.
like I won't slap the dog shit out of you.
I'm just kidding. I'm just
I
kidding.
want.
I don't understand. Okay, I don't understand why people. I can't understand Walmart because they got a bunch of hobos. They got a bunch of bums there at 6 a.m. I worked at Walmart, so I know. But also, like, I just don't understand why the fuck people so mad going to the grocery stores. Maybe is it because it's crowded, because it's packed, because
I don't know.
You know, there's a lot of shit going on.
To be angry, but you gotta think about it. We these non-paying jobs. I mean, these low-paying jobs like minimum wage, like grocery stores and stuff like that. These are the main fast food, all this. These are the main jobs that are hiring right now that are short on workers because one, you treat your workers like shit. You barely pay them, and then when these workers try to use their vacation days to go on vacation, to take time off, spend time with their family, guess what happens? The shit gets denied.
That's true.
They don't get to use their vacation days. They got to work OT all the time. And you treat them like shit. And then you pay them basically minimum wage or a little below and think that when a pandemic hits and you getting basically fucking $1,200, $1,300, $1,400 a week every 2 weeks, then I'm going to go back to fucking working at McDonald's, at Jack in the Box,
exactly,
at KFC. No, I'm not. I'd rather make unemployment.
They're like, they're calling it like the great flip or whatever the case might be. But if we're talking about this, and we got to talk about like the contributing factor to why the job reports is what it is, and there's a lot more jobs than people seeking jobs, is unemployment. So it does run out in September. You think if it runs, are people just milking it to the point where like, all right, well, you know, like we'll start applying like when September comes, but we still got August on the way. So like let's just get August through, and then like maybe we see a rise in September. I
think it's more so what we're saying. Everybody like at this point is saying, you know what, you know, I'd rather get this unemployment than work these minimum wage jobs. But a lot of people with their unemployment are taking it. We're taking it and starting up businesses, investing it in stocks and making shit ton of money off of stocks.
Oh man, they don't give you enough to invest to make money.
You didn't? Did you get unemployment?
I mean, you gotta pay bills.
Did you get unemployment?
I did for a short period. Yeah.
I know people who got their unemployment. I filed when I got mine. I filed when everything first shut down. I know people who waited or did it late and filed like months later and got $23,000. Got a lump sum check off the rip.
I know, but they're not paying bills or what?
Not everybody.
Man, motherfuckers, you start paying some bills.
Do you think everybody that filed for EDD is paying bills? You got to remember, it's a lot of people in our generation that are doing EDD that still live with their parents that don't pay. Most they got to pay is their cell phone bill and a car note. They're not paying rent. They're not paying cable, electricity.
Y'all motherfucker got to move out, all right?
And you move out at your own time. I don't say that. Because if I had the choice to not pay rent, I wouldn't pay no.
Yeah. Nobody want to pay rent, especially now California rent. Hey, it's just ridiculous. Yeah, but think about it's been racing. I think it rose like 5%. I've been checking out renting. I'm like, it's virtually impossible.
But think about it.
Not virtually impossible, but yeah.
You live with your mom, and you file for unemployment because it's the pandemic, and that's what everybody's doing. And you, even if you were trying to look for a job, you can't get one now. So you file for unemployment, you get it. And it takes forever because everybody filed at the same time, so it was a delay. So you finally get your check and you get all the retroactive back pay and all that stuff. You get $20,000, $23,000. Anybody smart is gonna take half of that or 25% of that, go invest it, go start a little business, something where even if it's like a little clothing business that they selling out there from their homes or whatever it may be. All
right,
go do that. You making a little money. So, now you making this little money. Most people are like, fuck it, I'm not about to go work back at McDonald's if I can make money doing this.
I know, but also there's cases where people got to pay bills and 23 grand ain't enough whether you like it or not. 23
true.
grand isn't enough for you to sit on your ass and, you know, hopefully a side job come through in time, in like a wingspan of a couple months. You know, it doesn't work. Shit don't work that way. But coming back to the live wage. So like, I just don't understand why these companies and the government has a lot to do with it, is because they haven't raised the minimum wage from $7.50 federally for like over 12, 13 years now.
And
So
it
it's like
should've
when's
been
the
raised.
and we hear Biden talking about that shit all the time leading up to it. Where's that talk now? It's not in the infrastructure bill. It's not. He's not talking about it. It was just kind of like it's cap all along. It was just cap. It's like we not,
Well,
you know damn well you're not gonna fucking talk about changing the minimum wage.
I'm not defending. I'm not defending Joe Biden, but you know how it is when it goes to.
Yeah, it's
don't
all
give a fuck
talk.
about us broke people. I mean, I won't say it's all talk, but even if Joe Biden truly wanted to help raise the minimum wage gap, it's gonna be so much pushback from people in his party and people in the opposing party that it's not gonna happen right away.
But also, like 15 is not livable.
It's
Like
not.
maybe if you in like North Dakota or something.
In
but
California, no.
In California, 15 is no way near livable.
It should be 20.
No,
I think it should be 20.
20 is not even livable.
If you don't got kids, I think it should be 20.
All right, sure, whatever. It's livable, but you might need like a roommate or whatever case might be.
That's fair. Yeah, I wouldn't want to have a roommate.
Like it's not livable on your own unless you're making like 32 an hour. Like if you're pulling in like $5,000 or $6,000 a month, all right, that's livable. But I get it. I get it. Not everybody's gonna pull in that money. Like just I actually livable.
I would say
$4,000.
I would say 35. If you pulling in 35 a month, and you're really good,
That's
with
how
saving
much
your
about
money,
I make, to be honest. And I don't think that's livable.
I think it's livable.
I guess I am living, huh?
I mean, it also depends. You have to live within your means.
Exactly.
You have a girlfriend that you guys share the rent and all that stuff, so that's different. Maybe it would be a little harder if you were living here by yourself, paying like whatever you pay, which is probably like in the 2000s.
Right.
Yeah, but if you're living within your means, I think 35 is a reasonable monthly salary or whatever to live by.
Look. Okay, so there's a website called livingwage.mit.edu. And you can go on there and you can pick like your states, whatever the case might be. So I just pick in your county. I just picked LA County.
I'm
I'm
looking at it too.
Oh, okay. So I'm going down to so for one adult, right? For one adult, 0 children, the income that you will pull in before tax, that's considered livable before tax. For one adult, 0 children is $40,000 a month. $40,000 a year before tax.
That's the livable wage. That's how much you need to be making a year.
Yeah. So and they're considering they're considering food, they're considering Medi-Cal, they're considering housing, transportation, civic, others required. So $40,000 a year for one adult with no kids, right? One adult with a kid, $88,000. That should double. One parent, one kid. One parent and 2 child, $107,000. We know a lot of single parents out here with 2 kids not making $40,000, bro. And on this website it says it's required for you to make 6 figures if you're a single parent with 2 child. 3 child, $140,000. And and I get it. In California, unlike the federal, it starts at 12. LA County, $12 per hour.
Still not 15 yet?
Nope.
Oh, they've been playing that.
Not according to this website. It's $12. Cause LA is big. If you're working downtown LA, that's 15. But if you're working like maybe a little bit outside LA, you're working Lawndale, Hawthorne, they're still paying.
15. It's 15 now.
It's 15 now.
But in certain areas,
maybe like Norwalk or whatever case might.
Lakewood over there, it's probably like
12. Yeah, like 12, 13. Yeah. So
it's like 13, 14 over there in Hawthorne, back by the crib. It's like 13 now. It's not 12. It's not 15.
Okay, it's $1. Come on, man.
I mean, not 12. It's not 15.
Yeah. It's $1, and they
it's like
California taxes is high,
14,
so whatever.
So it's still like 12, pretty
right.
much.
So I think the question is that what do the people want? Do we want a higher raise, or do we want low inflation? Because these motherfuckers they're not gonna give us both. We can't get the best of both worlds here. Like
What's low inflation, like prices and stuff going down?
Right, exactly.
I think prices go down. I think that's the most logical thing.
I'd rather prefer that.
Because if the wage goes up, that's just gonna make inflation worse. If we lower the prices of stuff, I'm not saying people have to, that these companies and these homeowners or these people who are selling or renting out homes and renting out apartments and all that stuff have to lower it exponentially. But I feel if they lower everything just a little, the price of everything.
But that's hard. You can't be charging motherfuckers like $1,600 for rent, and then suddenly now the government's like, nah, motherfucker, the market is $1,200. Like, motherfuckers not gonna do that. Motherfuckers gonna be like, I'm gonna charge $1,600, and I'm gonna charge more, because after every year of the contract, I can raise it.
Yeah, they go up.
So, I think I agree with you that the best thing is to keep inflation down, maybe deflation, but that's fucking hard. So how do you and I think corporations are so greedy. So there's no way they're going to raise prices without inflation kicking high. I just don't really see a day in our country where they really want to bring back the middle class, because essentially what they're doing is just eliminating the middle class. They're just the pandemic was literally the largest wealth transfer of all time. Throughout the pandemic, rich motherfuckers got way richer and poor people just got way poorer.
That's true. But it's a lot of poor people that also came up during the pandemic.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say a lot. You can say a lot, but
it's a lot. Not even just like off of stocks. It's a lot of motherfuckers whether they was doing illegal shit or doing legal shit. It's a lot of motherfuckers.
But the unemployment was cool, but it's not making money. It's not raising your class.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the rich got richer during the pandemic and the poor did get poorer or stayed the same. But there was also a lot of poor people who came up, not just talking about EDD and unemployment and PPP scams and all that shit. People who were doing stocks. It's a lot of people
starting businesses or whatever.
Who started businesses, started YouTube channels, started music careers, gaming careers. Even if they might not be super famous, poor people during the pandemic we've seen more poor people during the pandemic create streams of income for themselves, or at least attempt, than we've ever seen in a while.
Hey.
And obviously, when you starting off as an entrepreneur, a lot of shit not gonna work. So a lot of shit gonna fail. But
shout out to OF, man. Y'all making a lot of millionaires selling.
You've seen a lot of people, a lot of women during the
dicks
pandemic.
And pussy out there.
It's a lot of women during the pandemic that came up off of OnlyFans, and not only. And you can say
how would you feel if you're the woman sidetrack? But how do you feel if you're a chick or the dude that see everybody making money and you're like, fuck, I'm gonna join the OF. I'm gonna start promoting on IG. You got all your friends like looking at you different or whatever case might be, and then your profit monthly is like $200. How you feel? Because there's those people.
Yeah, that's still $200 though.
I know, but there's those people that's like, oh, I'm expecting to pull in some fucking. I'm pulling numbers, and they're pulling a couple hundreds.
But you gotta start somewhere.
I guess that's true. Hey, OF is a full-time job because you gotta promote it. You gotta make sure you switch your whole life. You can't just be like working a regular job and just be on OF.
Now you can, but
the thing
is, if you want to,
in order to make money, substantial money.
I was watching a podcast. One of the Joe Budden podcasts, and Rosa Acosta was on there, and she was talking about like if you do OnlyFans.
I'm sorry, I don't know.
She's like IG model.
Oh, okay.
She was like, if you do OnlyFans, like you gotta go, you gotta go 100%. You gotta go fully in, like 100% in. Like you can't just do OnlyFans and be worried about what your friends or family gonna think, because if you want to make that money, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Exactly. It's one of the industry where you gotta promote yourself. You gotta really be out there.
You gotta
talk to people. You gotta.
Even if I'm bringing in $200 a month, that's an extra $200 I didn't have. All it takes is for me to blow up 1 month. And the point
I know. But what if you quit your job and you went full time OF and you only made $200 a month? You're gonna be like, oh motherfucker, I guess it's time to go get a real job now.
If you're a woman on OnlyFans only making $200 a month, then
you didn't go all the way in.
You didn't go all the way in, because any woman on OnlyFans could probably the base.
Let's talk about dudes too, though. Here, equality, my guy, equality.
Anybody on OnlyFans, if you actually go in and you actually making content and making sure you consistent with your content, I'm pretty sure you could bring.
I've
in
been
like
thinking about
1,000
like
a month.
how delicious my toes look. What if I started an OF with just toes? Because a lot of people like toes. I mean, that was a joke. I'm amazed at how much money people make off of toes pictures. I'm serious.
Because everybody
I
has
literally,
fetishes.
there's a guy on like CNBC or not CNBC or whatever fucking YouTube channel I saw. He makes like 100,000 just feet.
People like feet, man.
Why the fuck are people so into feet?
Hey man, it's for foot. I couldn't tell
It's
you.
weird. I'm into armpits. I don't know why.
What?
Yeah, no, it's weird. I found that out with my girl.
You don't have to tell me that.
I've never been into armpits except her.
That's cool.
I just like to play with it.
I don't want to know
Tickle. All right.
that. I don't want to know that.
Anyways, sidetrack. But going back to what we were saying, livable wage.
Back to that. Like, it was so many poor people who like, even how we're going to talk about the people, all the women during the pandemic that started OnlyFans. A lot of those women that started OnlyFans and blew up, they're not just doing OnlyFans no more. They getting like little sponsorship deals to promote clothing, promote sex toys, promote whatever it may be. They get into people out here getting to the bag now.
Yeah.
It's not just, oh, niggas is poor, so we just sitting at home. This pandemic showed that if you poor, you can. I mean, you could always do that, but this showed that if you poor, you can go out and still start your own business and bet on yourself, and it's a chance that you're gonna win. Not everybody gonna win. Rich people fuck up and start shit with the money they got and fail all the time. So it's gonna be the same thing if you broke. You just gotta really have faith in yourself.
Well, I think the only way where you can tackle this livable wage situation and you can fix it in a way where people can start making livable wages, because the frustration for I think a lot of people is like, for example, like they work at a company where they know the company making a shit ton of money, but they're just making a minimum wage or like maybe $3-4 above minimum wage. And I think that's the frustration for a lot of people. Where like, yo, I'm not fucking getting paid enough. I'm doing a lot of shit, but you just have like a cap hold on my position, whatever the case might be. And I think, and that's the reason why. Where one time I was like, yo, like maybe the minimum wage isn't the answer. Maybe we need to remove the minimum wage, and maybe we need to do something where kind of like, where the government implement a thing where a company has to pay like a percentage of the total income towards employees, and then and then you can throw managers or whatever in the case, but allocated by percentage, and then you divvy it up where it's like kind of even. So it's like now you have people who is working for the companies and they see what the income is, and they know like they're getting like, I don't know, if you're just an associate, you're getting like 18% of whatever the income might be, And I think that's better because if you have a minimum wage, now you just capping, like you put a cap on everybody's wages. Yeah, now people are just like, yeah, I pay you minimum wage, that's fine. Like, or I pay you, I'm paying you a lot. I'm paying you $3 above the minimum wage. But if you really look at it as far as like,
it adds up, but not as much as you think.
Yeah. Not as much. I mean, with the amount of taxes we pay in California, not as much.
Not as much.
But if you do it based on like accumulations as far as like percentage of income that the company pull in, let's say for example, like you work at a restaurant and the company pull in like 50,000 a day or something like that, like certain percentage, and you tallied up throughout the week, certain percentage, 18% goes to the fucking employees. Now instead of them paying you $12 minimum, if you divvy it up against all the employees, that if most likely you're gonna be looking at like $18, $21, something like that, rather than having a cap.
But here's the thing, you do that, and so we already
wait before you, it's kind of like how the NBA they get I think 40% or 50%.
Yeah, but if you do that with normal jobs, you have to think about it. One, it's gonna give companies another reason to try to cap people at that lower threshold and keep them from progressing in the company, working their way up to manager, supervisor, the higher rank, working their way up the ranks. Because that's already hard when you're working for these companies. Like,
but they're gonna need people in higher positions. They can't just have only associates.
Yes, but it's gonna. I mean, I don't know.
Because I think that's the most reasonable way where, and and I guess it's gonna be hard because like if you're in a job where it's unionized, then the union can kind of contract, negotiate like what percentage goes to employees and whatever case might be, right? But if you're not in a union, it's a little bit hard. But if the government implements a way where like the company has to pay out a percentage of the income to the employees, maybe you leave that minimum wage there, but you have like like everybody gets bonuses according to like incomes.
If I'm an associate, I mean,
you know,
personally, I wouldn't do this anyways. But if I'm an associate, let's say just I'm a cashier working at Walmart and I've been here for 10 years. I mean, if you've been a cashier at Walmart for 10 years and you ain't got promoted, you should probably go somewhere else. But let's just say I'm a cashier and I've been at Walmart for 10 years, and this new person that comes in and is a horrible cashier is getting paid the same wage as me, and I'm the best cashier. I can clear the lines, and like I could clear a stupid long line in 2 minutes, and like clear out the store and bring it back to a comfortable rhythm from everybody and help out the younger cashiers and help train them, and I'm still getting paid that associate wage. I would feel a way if I'm getting paid as this new cashier that I'm training, if I'm getting paid basically the same amount as them. And I'm training them, and
it makes no
doing
sense.
all the dirty work. That's why I would be
like, there should be bonuses for everything. There should always be bonuses for getting, level up. There should be bonuses for training people. And also like some of these companies that most people work at is traded. Like imagine working at fucking GameStop or AMC or whatever, and the fucking the stocks go through the roof, and the company raised millions of dollars, and you work at the company, you get nothing.
No, that's why I think more companies should be like, only company, I know it's other companies that do this, but I know for sure Apple does it. More companies should be like Apple, like give your workers stock. Give your workers stock in the company.
Yeah. Or actually now, if you want to keep that the same, then all right, sure, whatever. But the government has to essentially step in and be like, hey man, like a lot of people that are working, they're all adults, right? And what do adult cares about? They care about how much they make. And benefits. So
that was gonna be my next point. Benefits.
If you don't,
benefits.
Yeah, if you don't want to raise pay, then you have to offer people health care. You have to, like, regardless of part-time or full time, you have to offer some type of benefit. Like, and
I think.
And there, well, mind you, there's like industries where I used to work, where as a servers or a bartender, whatever case might be, like they cut you off of a certain hour per week, so they don't have to pay you that benefit. It's like, motherfucker, that's not fucking fair. Like I work literally, like I'm short 30 minutes. And just because I average 30 minutes under the cap, that never really happened to me. But like, just because I work under 30 minutes, you're not gonna offer me benefits. That's fucking.
And now you see why now that everything's open back up, a lot of restaurants is short on workers.
Yeah, no, I've
been telling you motherfuckers, all of my friends that work at restaurants, y'all can't be mad at motherfuckers tipping you when these motherfuckers is cheating y'all, like how you just said, not letting y'all work the full 40 hours a week or whatever it may be, so you could get your benefits, so you can get your OT. You can't blame that on the customers because they don't want to tip you, even though they should tip.
Hey, not at Marriott. They take care of people at Marriott. I like Marriott. I fuck with Marriott. But yes, no, when I was working at BJ's, yeah, no, there were.
Yeah, benefits have to be better if they want people to start coming back to these lower income jobs, because PTO is one of the main things.
Some's got it. Yes, exactly. People need days off.
Because
or sick pay. There's companies that don't offer sick pay.
Time off, paid time off, and non-paid time off. That's one thing I see on social media when I see like the conversations where everybody's talking about like working and stuff. People are sick of, because I'm sick of it too. That's why I'm working more. I'm doing Uber Eats. I'm cool for now until I can find a job that really has good benefits. I'm sick of when I'm working. Every job I've worked at, I try to put in PTO. I try to put in requests to get time off months in advance. Never get it. But when it comes around that time, every single manager is fucking gone from the store because they all on vacation. Every other cashier gone, or it's like the associates that the managers like get their vacations. They have to do something about PTO, because it's not fair.
Some's got to give. It's either you pay a little bit more or you give benefits out, like
better benefits. Because they get benefits, but the benefits don't be that good.
Yes, like, yeah. You got to offer 401k. You can't offer, like, or you gotta offer alternative that like are willing to that can attract workers, because at the end of the day, like, everybody is about their money, and I think these corporations are starting to like really get greedy and greedy and greedy against the workers, because they don't actually work in certain locations. Let's say, for example, McDonald's or whatever the case might be. If you have a unsatisfied customer, it's because if the workers are getting paid well, the customer is going to be fucking happy. There's just certain companies that don't give. I know when I worked at Marriott, they really give a fuck about that, because they care for, they gave great benefits. We get great hotel discount and like, decent pay. The pay wasn't great, but the fact that the benefits was great.
The benefits made up for. You had dental, all that other bullshit.
Right. You get, like, if the pay ain't great, but the benefits is great, it balanced things. Like, so.
And the pay should still be better.
Right.
But if the pay not that good, and I'm at least getting like legit benefits, then
like you getting free health care, you get PTO, you get sick pay, you can request holidays, whatever the case might be, right? So like I think I just don't understand, because most companies have customers. If the customer is satisfied, then that affects your bottom line. And if the customer is satisfied, it's highly due to your employees being happy. And so it's just, these companies just got to start taking care of their employees. But also, that's corporation aside. But like, what about the hard part is the small mom and pop shop or stores or whatever.
They don't have the same money as
corporations. They don't have the same money.
Sometimes they don't have that money to pay their employees.
So that's the hard part. I get it. I get it if you're just mom and pop shop and you're like just kind of like going above the threshold. You're barely just hanging in there for your dear life. You can't really fucking. So I get it, man. It's a hard thing, but I just think like if we implement, if the government implement a way where, we kind of move away from the minimum wage and more towards like percentage of income. That way it can kind of like, give a daylight to how employees can see if they're getting dicked out by the employers or not, because the minimum wage doesn't prove it doesn't work. Like, it's not a livable wage. If you're making $12 an hour, there's no way you're making $40,000 a year. You're going to be making like 28 grand a year.
If you want to make 40 grand, if you want to make 40 grand off of $12 an hour, you have to be working OT at least 25% of the time.
Exactly, which is wild, because now you're taking so much time away from
living your actual life, being at home,
exactly,
doing other things, exercising, taking care of your family if you got kids or whatever,
right?
Just doing other hobbies, because you're spending 50, 70, 80 hours at a week at work.
Exactly.
You spend basically 10 hours a day at work every week.
And piggyback right to the things that I said starting out before we end the podcast. But I said something about taking advantage of being a country that we're in, and there's people in other countries being less unfortunate. The one thing I do want to say about Americans that most people in other country, and especially when I was living in Vietnam, that I didn't get the sense of this, is that people in America work a lot. Like, we work a lot here. And I think at some point we stop getting compensated for the amount of work that we put in.
No, yeah. I had a conversation maybe a year ago or so. I was talking to someone on Twitter. We were talking about, it was like a whole group. We was all talking about like shit like this, like the minimum wage. And this dude was from the UK. And he was saying the same thing. He said, I've noticed that you Americans, like, you guys work a lot and you guys don't really take time off. And then I explained to him, I'm like, well, this one, I think, well, it wasn't a year ago. This is like maybe a couple years ago. I think this when I was working at Walmart. So I explained to him, I was like, well, yeah, I mean, it's kind of, one, everything's expensive, especially if you live in California. So you got to work to make money. And then it's hard to get time off when you're working, because it's like some jobs, they just are really strict with the time off. They won't, you got to really like have a lot of PTO or put your request in like a year in advance in order to get time off. And he was saying that's crazy because overseas, like in Europe, they encourage their workers. The companies encourage their workers to use that month that you got a PTO.
Yeah.
And go on vacation. Get the fuck out of here. Go take a mental health break.
Yeah.
So you won't come back
like
to work
my
and
school,
be fucking shooting
school
niggas
first.
up.
School first. I never accumulated so many fucking PTO in my entire life so fast. Literally, I'm like almost over 100, and I've only been at the company for under a year. And they like force everybody to take at least a week off. Like force. And also you can take plenty of fucking days off. Yeah. Which is, the thing is, it's not a standard.
In America, it's not.
It's not a standard, but it needs to be a standard because there's certain corporations that will do it, and then there's just certain corporations that will fucking work you.
That's why
so the sun don't shine.
Why niggas overseas don't give a fuck about working at the fucking pub or McDonald's, because they can still fucking take that month off and go visit America, go visit Spain if they live in the UK, go visit Asia, go visit wherever, South America. They could take that time off, take that month off. Even they just want to take that month off and sit at home. Yeah. Just not work. They have the option to do that. We don't really have that option in America. It's like if you don't have the PTO, they gonna look at you. And then I've seen times where I've worked with people and they go on vacation and come back and they fucking job is gone.
Yeah.
They pretty much get fired by the time they get back. Oh yeah,
my pops got fired his day off, bro.
Get laid off for going on vacation. That shit don't happen in other countries.
He came off of a vacation and got fired.
Laid the fuck. Yep.
I was like,
that's why I don't never go on vacation.
How the fuck did that happen?
That's why I've never been on vacation, because I'm like, if I go on vacation,
by the way,
come back,
vacations are pretty fucking short here.
You only get like
a week. That's not a vacation. A vacation is a month, bro. A month.
Certain jobs only let you use a certain amount of time.
I know.
At a time over here. Whereas like in other countries, they'll let you use as much
2-3 weeks.
However much you got used up. If you want to use all of it, go ahead. They wouldn't care. Somebody's gonna replace you while you're gone. You'll come back and your job will still be here. But in America, it's not like that. You try to take a month vacation, you might not have a job when you get back.
That's true.
So yeah, it's just things that we have to get better at in America.
I think the government has to start regulating like corporations and putting standards.
A little more than they already do.
Yeah, more than what they do, and putting standards on how you treat employees, how like what you should offer to employees and stuff like that. And then, what you should do about the minimum wage. You raise it, or should you do it by a percentage of income throughout the company, whatever the case might be. But I think there needs to be talk amongst that, and I think the current administration is probably not. They're probably not talking about it. It seems like that's the last thing on their fucking mind.
We're not gonna never really get this fixed out. It'd probably be a couple terms from now before the government really decides to get into that minimum wage. But I think it's gonna be a good 8 years before we can really start talking.
Because Biden ain't really running the country. I think somebody's behind the desk.
Think he's FDR?
He want to be FDR, but he ain't.
Wait, is that FDR the one that has
No.
Didn't he have scoliosis or something?
I don't think so.
No, it was one of those presidents.
No, FDR was a good one.
That was when I got shot?
No, that's JFK.
No, it was FDR. I think Roosevelt, he was sick or something. They had him his wife was.
I don't know. I failed history class, so maybe I'm
I think
not
that
the
is
right.
FDR. I could be wrong.
I'm not the right person. But anyways, I'm just saying, I don't think Biden is to run the country, man. He can't. He can barely put a sentence together. What makes you think he's gonna put a bill together?
I just vote for the president once, and then I wait for 4 years and see what they did good and wrong. I don't be keeping up with them.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just keeping up because I'm just keeping up because I watch the podcast and I hear about it. And I'm like, damn, But whatever, dude. I don't try to. Jesus Christ!
What the fuck was that?
I had a burp real bad. Anyways, but I was trying to hold it in. It was weird. Anyways, but no, I don't really try to let politics depict my life because it gets out of hand. And
exactly.
Politics can be very stressful, and
if you let politics control your life, you're gonna be depressed.
Yeah. No. I just kind of laugh at it. I'm like, funny. At this point, if anything politics related, I just try to find a way to hate both sides.
That's fair.
It's the best way to cope with things. As long as you hate both sides, you're good. If you like one and you hate the other, then you're in the race. But if you hate both sides, you're just kind of like the guy sitting on the bench like, look at these motherfuckers go. Look at them just fighting over shit that don't matter. Or that do matter, but shouldn't require fighting. But yeah, that's just my approach nowadays.